Hello everybody, Andy here, and today I want to talk about Age of Sigmar, because 4.0 is coming out, and what can I say? That I'm riding that hype train for myself. Is it going to survive contact with the enemy, aka the actual physical act of playing the game? I don't know, but I, on stream, was painting some of the black talons, and I thought, yeah, okay, I'm hyped, let's talk about it. The first thing they released 2-3 days ago now is the first model that's going to come in the new box. We don't know the name of it yet. It's probably going to be called Reforged, isn't it? Instead of Dominion, like I don't know, who knows. Here, this is a Liberator. Now, the reason this is interesting is because 9 years ago, Age of Sigmar launched with a Liberator. This was the first model you could buy if you go to Warhammer World. They have a Liberator model, like a statue, like right outside their headquarters. It was a squat little boy, as we see on the left here. And then they released this new armor type with Dominion called Thunderstrike, which is cool. This model here on the right is the Thunderstrike models you got in the Dominion box. Absolute minor aside that is not relevant. I think this guy oddly looks better than this guy, but I'm sure that is purely a weird perspective thing, because I've seen the Thunderstrike models. I think they look way better than the original models. Whatever. I'm excited for the new Liberators. But that's interesting because it's been 9 years and they finally said, oh yeah, no, we kind of oopsied it. Anyway, let's keep going because this isn't the point yet. They are redoing the original box. So we are expecting Liberators, we're expecting Prosecutors and other stuff. They then also posted this. This is showing the other poses and weapon options for Liberators. So we can go big two-hander, doubles, sword or shield and hammer. They've also confirmed on Reddit, Facebook, the Warcom team, that there won't be any swords available to the Liberators. You're just going to get these 5 sculpts. And that's fine, cool, whatever, not a big deal. We then go to today's, they have said, it's been said unofficially, right? It's been said on Warcom. But they said, the Liberators are still Liberators. They are just having updated sculpts. You can still use the old Liberators as new Liberators. They're the same thing, which I really like. They obviously need to say that officially, not just a random dude on Warcom, but I like that approach to it. I want the new Liberators, okay? Much like I wanted the new Terminators from 40k. But you should still let people use their old models officially. Cool. I'm talking about using your old models officially. We have a whole bunch of stuff from Age of Sigmar getting removed, and that's what I actually want to talk about today. A mere 3 minutes into the video. Because I think Stormcasts are cool, as you could tell by the fact that I have some models on the table in front of me and I'm actively painting them and I'm excited for whatever the next box is. However, if you were to go to the, Wikipedia page for Stormcast as you're looking to build your army, the number of options are insane. It's as bad as Space Marines. So I'm actually really happy to see that they are removing models and datasheets and tomes, etc. from an army. Let's talk about that a little bit. Of course, hey, if you're a subscriber to my channel, I'd like to give you a subscriber-only benefit, and that is a big double hello. Wow, wasn't that wholesome? Wasn't that pleasant? What is the double pleasantry? I don't know, it's just a present from me to you, thank you. Okay, let's move on. It is subscribers only though. Right, basically they said, hey, we're removing all of these. Okay, oh boy, it's a lot. So let's start with the Stormcast Eternals, right? Because obviously, this is their number one big seller, boys, in theory. Not as dominating as Space Marines, but very clearly still the thing that sells the most in Sigmar. Which makes total sense. I mean, look at these guys right here. Absolute bangers. Honestly, I'm creating with the Black Talons and Gotrek, and these chaps here, I forget what they are. This is an awesome D&D campaign squad I've built. They might be Stormcast, I don't know, but they're definitely a group of adventuring heroes. Right. So they're just removing a whole load of stuff. relatively interestingly, they're removing... So, I don't know enough about the Stormcast line to say they have removed this but not that. It feels like they are removing almost everything from the first 2 editions of Stormcasts, which seems... it can't be right. Like, that's a lot of models to remove in one fell swoop. That would also leave me with the notion that perhaps going forwards, as we are getting with Liberators, as we know are coming with Prosecutors and I think Paladins, are they just going to redo the entire range? Is that what 4th edition Age of Sigmar is going to be? We just get all of these redone? Probably not Judicators, because of course they've just given us I can't remember what they're called, but we have Thunderstrike with bows and they look way cooler. You know what they haven't removed? Now that I think about it, they haven't removed the Neve Blacktalon stuff. They haven't removed the Vanguard. But they have removed the Evocators. And cool. Alright. I don't know. I'm just looking at it and saying, interesting choices. Fair enough. Okay. I think ultimately this is a good thing to do. If I had to speculate, I fully suspect that these models here are going to be redone. And if you still have these models, you're going to be able to use them as straight proxies. And GW wants it that way. Well, no, obviously they want you to spend money and buy more models, obviously, let's not be stupid. But they are just going to redo everything in Thunderstrike that they want to redo. There you go. And I'm on board for it. That sounds fine. I have no issues with that. Although, I hope they don't. Like, if they do, I'm good, but I want fewer data sheets, if I'm honest. Don't give me Liberators with hammers and then whatever they're called with swords and whatever they're called with spears. Just give me Liberators. That's it. Just say hand weapon. Don't say sword, shield, just hand weapon. Done. Problem solved. Not because I think that would make for a better game, to clarify. I think that would make for a better collecting experience. And since I don't care too much about the Age of Sigmar game, I'm quite happy for it to be a good collecting experience. That would mean more people getting in, blah, 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 blah. We all know it. Cool. And then, so I actually thought when I loaded up the article, this was all it was going to be. It was going to be, okay, we're getting ready for Age of Sigmar 4. We're going to put out the idea that stop buying these models. We no longer make them, blah, blah, blah. But then Skaven as well. They're killing a bunch of stuff here. Now this makes a lot of sense. A lot of Skaven was looking really bad. Like, just look at these. Some of these are still metal. The Arch Warlock is metal. The Plague Priests are metal. The Giselles are metal. It's mad that these are modern sculpts. They should legit just move all of these and say they're old world now. Moving on. Age of Sigmar, you can't use these. We're giving you new sculpts. Old world, here you go. Here's our crap. The old world guys would have loved it because you get Skaven. And we would have got a new sculpts. Cool. We then go down to the bone now. This is where we continue my shock. Because after the Stormcast, which I wanted pruned because it made total sense, the Skaven then also is like, okay, yeah, because we're getting the new box, these are the new factions. Cool. Makes sense. Bone Splitters are old models, but they've been around. They're not getting new sculpts. They're not like a launch faction. They're just saying, yeah, no more. And yeah. Huh. I mean, fine, makes sense, good. But even here in the top, it just says, yeah, we're getting rid of them. Here's a free tome. But like, for Legacy, it's like, okay, fair enough, I guess. You won't be able to buy them anymore. They're gone. And then, Slaves to Darkness. Now, I picked up pretty much everything from the first edition of Warcry. Which means I have quite a few of these. And they just got rid of them. You know, to me, these are the slaves to darkness, because that's where they were kind of originally sort of, sorry, that's people are going to take issue with that term. This is where they started to really flesh out the slaves to darkness models, in the sense of these are the mortals of chaos. And I had honestly assumed they were just going to keep them. Again, from a collectability perspective, removing these makes total sense. Or, sorry, not from a collectability. These were all fully fleshed out, like mini factions, like squads. Just, yeah, I don't know. I'm just surprised that they removed them, because these would have instantly fleshed out the slaves to darkness. The Dark Oath. Every time I've said slave to dark, I've meant Dark Oath. The new Dark Oath faction that we know is coming. These should have just gone into there, and then that would have just made sense. It kind of would have worked. But they chose to just scrap them all. Interesting. I'm not necessarily against it though, but interesting. Either way, I think it's very safe to say if you have any of these, you can just say these are my Dark Oath. This is my warband, the Dark Oath warband infantry that I'm using. Not a big deal, right? Like Spire Tyrants are obviously just regular, and they look like the Dark Oath models. Sergeant of the Flame, these are all Untamed Beasts. These are just slightly different variations on the new Dark Oath models they're going to release. So, whatever. And then we got Beasts of Chaos. Now, I know some people care about the Beasts of Chaos. I don't. And therefore I have absolutely no attachment to these models. And if anything, I was just surprised they're still in the game. So, fine. They do have their own endless spells and Herdstone, which, interesting. But they're even removing the Vanguard, so it's like, yeah, straight up, whole faction gone. At least with the Slaves to Darkness, they're getting replaced with Dark Oath. Beasts of Chaos is just gone. And of course they say, but don't worry, they'll be back. Yeah, sure, mate. Sure, see you in a decade. And then just some random ones. Which, for example, the Branch Wraith makes total sense, because that is a very old model. Eternity Warden, yeah, they've updated the whole range, makes sense. Scylla, bad model, good. Valkyria, I swear that... Well, why? Oh, it must be a Dark Oath model, mustn't it? And they don't, for some reason, they don't want to bring over old Dark Oath models? As a choice they've made, I suppose. Whereas, for example... in my head, I'm like, that's a new model. They only just released that. No, Andy, it was like 4 years ago, to clarify. They didn't only just release it. It was along with their Dark Portent stuff, which would have been the middle of 2nd edition Sigmar, which would mean it's between 3 and 6 years ago. There you go. If it's 6 years, that seems pretty fair, to be honest. But in my head, it was right in my head. It was the end of 2nd edition, so it would only be 3. But whatever, you get it. I'm just surprised to see such a new model going. Also, a shame the Mistweaver is going. However, I'm going to take that as an idea that they want to prune the range a little bit before they go and release the full Dark Elf range. Because I have both the Warcry and the Underworld's Warband for them, and they are pretty hype. So that'll be my faction there. Hell yeah, I'm very excited for them. Okay, anyway, that's it. I just wanted to talk. Oh, sorry, no, it's not. Hold on, I have a question for you. I'm just a chap that enjoys some gaming. I have played a little bit of Sigmar 3.0, and what's going on here? This is my question to you. Explain this to me. So, this was yesterday? Yeah. How building your army has changed. Cool. Love these little tidbits. You know, I'm not really a Sigmar channel, so this article alone didn't make me think, right, I've got to put out a video. Because I don't know what's going on here, basically. Isn't this basically the same? Like, what's changed here? Serious question. I know that they had regiments, and you didn't have to put your stuff into battle formations, whatever they're called, regiments. you could have done whatever you want. But you wanted to have as few drops on the possible because it gave you priority on the roll, right? Well, now they're saying you want whoever finishes deploying first gets to decide first turn, which is big, that's fair. And then, additionally, whoever has the fewest auxiliary units, which is just any data sheet that doesn't fit into your regiment, as shown here. Sorry, I'm dying. And that will give you +1 command point per battle round. Now, I don't know how important these command points are going to be, but let me tell you this. That's insane, right? I don't know the game that well. If it was +1 command point, that would be like a nice little buff, but like you could play around it. It sounds to me, I'm just guessing, like whatever happens, you do not want to take any auxiliary units on the off chance that you will take more and therefore not get +1 command point. Or you will give your opponent +1 command point per battle round. That seems really strong. I suspect this is going to be a classic situation of poorly balanced in the sense of either +1 command point is so powerful that you never ever take an auxiliary unit, or they will release a broken auxiliary unit that you have to take because it is so strong it outweighs a 5 command points or whatever it is. And there won't be anything in between. You either go no auxiliaries because command points I can't give my opponent a command point, or you will go, this new unit they released is insane, it has to be in every single list no matter what. Kind of like they did when they released the Incarnate of Gur. For a while before they nerfed it, that was absolutely had to be in every list. So sorry, yeah, my query here is, what's different here? Have they just simplified it? It's simply a hero and then a hero with models it's allowed to take. Whereas before it was like battle line, which is almost everything, and then monster is a different keyword, and that's it. Does this actually change anything? Are people that are in the know and have been following this deeply and know Age of Sigmar, are they like, oh yeah, no, this is big, this is huge, this has completely changed the game? Or is this, like I suspect, and a little bit of a nothing burger, if you will? Much like I felt their previous article on modularity in rules was. That was a weird article. That, to me, the way I read it, it was, if you're playing Spearhead, use the core rules. If you're playing anything else, use all the rules. Like, oh. Okay. Thanks. Thanks for telling me that. Anyway, there you go. These are my thoughts, these are my questions. If you made it to the end of the video, I'd like to give you a big triple hello. Age of Sigmar. Hey, like I say, I'm riding the my natural hype train for a brand new edition of a cool game with some of the best models around. Am I going to like the game? I would guess not. Because, you know, it's nice that they're making a few tweaks to it, but very genuinely, Age of Sigmar 3 wasn't so amazing that I'm like, oh yeah. The reason I'm not playing this is because there's a few tweaks I need made. It's like the core engine of GW is clunky and a bit meh. Are these tweaks they're making going to bring it just to the point of playability for me? I strongly doubt it, but it's possible, and I'm willing to hang around for a little bit to see where that possibility goes, and if perhaps my notion of how things work will have changed in that time to the point that I'm excited enough to put the models on the table and willing to accept the poor rule set before I give up and go back to Kill Team. There you go. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. Who was it in the stream that said I was jaded? How dare you, sir? Right, bye.